when I graduated what we call high school, in my head, I knew my passion was football, right? But I was thinking to myself, like, is there even like a chance a kid from New York with an American accent is ever going to really be able to do this as a job? There was a bit of doubt.
Even you coming on your first time, I bet you felt like you was welcome.
Man, welcome, bro, for sure. There was never any like personality clashes or like awkwardness. Like I felt at home like immediately.
You've won Mastermind.
Huh.
Back to back. Yeah.
What do you mean?
And I wanted to ask you because obviously I just want to know like what's your secret? I know you're studying.
I promise you guys, I don't study.
We need to confirm what you're national. What are you? Are you French? Are you Algerian? Are you Canadian? Are you Greek? Are you Italian?
If someone says where you from,
Depends.
we're gonna win the league. We're gonna win the league. And now you're gonna believe us, and now you're gonna believe us, and now you're gonna believe us. We're gonna win the league.
It's dark.
I'll be real, bro. You need Listerine.
No.
Yeah,
I don't need no Listerine.
You know one thing I hate, bro? I hate when man them don't brush their teeth when they're fasting. Yeah, don't use the fasting as an excuse not to brush your teeth. Bro.
Oh, do you fast? Do you fast?
Brush your
wait,
teeth.
wait, do you fast?
I fast. I definitely
is it,
fast.
yeah? Oh,
I don't know if you do though.
No, because say 9. This is what we're doing, yeah. We're okay. Cool. Say 9. Okay, cool.
But anyway, how you getting away during Ramadan, man?
Okay, cool. Say 9. It's Ramadan. I don't want to get onto him like that. Do you get it? But it's fine. He can have the sins, not me.
It's calm. I'll take the sins. Don't worry. But anyway, we
As
have
you always do. You Man United.
we have
I'll take the sins.
one of my good friends, one of my good brothers on STS. Been on quite a few holidays with him. You know, I know about you. Don't worry. I know about you. I know about you.
So we're starting to...
But yeah, it's Lyes Liban.
I said, you know about him. You got him red.
I know about him.
One holiday, by the way.
I know about him, man. There's a lot of things you don't know about Lyes. Don't worry. I know about him, man. But anyways, welcome to the show, bro.
Appreciate you, man. It's been
feeling?
overdue, bro. I've been watching the pod. I was watching the first episode. I gave you guys my advice on the first one, and I think you guys took it. Every episode has been a banger so far. So hopefully I don't mess up the rhythm. Hopefully it goes well.
No. Like, to be fair, he has been loving it. Bro. Every episode you kind of give us.
I watched the Sharky one. I watched the Chunks one. I think everyone's gotten better. So
thank you.
I can Fenwell though. I really thought I was gonna scrap you though.
Yeah.
On my life. I thought,
Nah, bro.
He got me. I swear when I seen that I can Fenwell thing, I thought you were done.
Nah, fair play. They planned it out well. They got me. You know, it's become a meme now.
Yeah.
So I've seen that picture around a few times now. But the first thing we have to do, brother, and it's a question that a lot of people ask about you. We need to clear up what your nationality is. That's the first. See, that's how you know I fast. But anyways, we need to. That's how you know I fast. I got the clarity. There's it. Confirmation there. But yeah, we need to.
I'm dead, man.
Well, we need to confirm what you're national. What are you? Are you French? Are you Algerian? Are you Canadian? Are you Greek? Are you Italian?
Greek? Where did Greek come from?
Yeah, I've heard
a lot of allegations.
A lot of places.
Yeah, but you be dragging it as well too, man. You throw in a different nationality I swear every week, bro. This guy said Romanian one time, bro. I swear.
If you don't like.
You know, you're ambiguous, you though.
Well,
I think
where you from?
Someone's mentioned it before. He's ambiguous.
You know what it is, bro? When I was growing up as well too, people all used to think I was from every country. They thought they hear Buzidi and they think it's Italian. And people used to think people thought I was Mexican. I don't know. I have no idea why. But honestly, I've got everything in my life.
He looks like he could be from anywhere though.
No. Bro, someone, I can't remember who said it. Someone said on the podcast one time he's ambiguous.
Yeah.
And I believe it. Like, it's not a bad thing.
If someone says where you from,
depends.
Depends is crazy.
That's a tough question in general. When someone asks you where are you from, do you say where in England are you from, or what's your nationality? That's what I mean.
What's your nationality?
He's got a fair point.
That's what I mean.
Ends is different. Yeah. Where's you from, bro?
Northwest.
What country you from?
Somalia.
You asked me where are you from?
What country you from?
Algeria.
So now you're claiming the Afghan thing.
I've always claimed the Afghan thing. First of all,
no, because it's either you get it. No, he's claiming the Afghan thing because it's cool.
One thing I like about Lyes though, yeah.
I clocked it. He's only doing that because he doesn't like Carragher.
No.
That's why he's doing the Afghan thing because he doesn't like Carragher, bro. Yeah,
I've seen the backlash recently, man. A major.
No, but you tell us like what would you say?
This guy.
I'll give you the family tree. So my whole family, the name Bouzidi, it's an Algerian name.
Yeah.
So that's where my heritage basically. My mom, she's born in Algeria, but when she was like 4 years old, her family moved to France. So she lived most of her life in France. 2 of her brothers are French. Me, I was born in Canada. I lived in Canada for like the first few years of my life, maybe till I was like 7, 8 years old. I moved to New York, and I spent majority of my like adolescence growing up in New York, and now I'm here, man. So when you ask me where am I from, that's why I got like it's Mr. Worldwide, man.
So where
I hear it.
where does the New Jersey, the Michigan?
There's no New Jersey. There's no Michigan either. You just made those two up.
Well, I thought
They said Michigan.
I had Chicago one time.
Yeah, I heard
as well.
Chicago.
I had Detroit.
Nah, I never lived in anywhere but New York.
So growing up, obviously, you grew up in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, football.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
Nah,
Manhattan
nah.
sounds-
See, this
yeah.
is this is
Brooklyn.
always an interesting thing, though. Okay, because people in New York, it's very funny how this works. People from the city think that New York is just New York. So if you say you're from New York, they think you're from the city. New York is a state. So New York is a whole state. There's the city, and then there's upstate New York. There's Buffalo. There's Albany. So me, I grew up in Albany. But if I tell someone I'm from New York, they're gonna think, oh, I'm from Brooklyn or something like that. So it's like saying like, oh, I'm from London, and they're like, oh, you're from I don't know, Central London or in general. No, I'm from South London. It's kind of complicated. But
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like inside of the state of New York.
Yeah. There's
areas,
numerous different things. But people from the city, they have
yeah.
like this. They think they're the kings basically. They think the city is New York, nothing else. Outside of that, oh, you're from upstate. You're not from New York.
Yeah, and I get.
So
you.
I grew up in upstate.
So
Upstate.
you-
Upstate New
Is
York.
it like? Is
was that like a rich area?
Not a rich area. It's more like suburbs, to be fair, but it's not like a rich area.
Oh,
Yeah.
Was you like?
oh, okay.
Was it
Okay.
Huh?
What's it called again?
Where I lived,
Yeah.
I grew up in Albany. It's
Albany.
to be fair, it's the capital of New York.
Yeah. So okay. So in New York, obviously, growing up in America,
Yeah.
football isn't really the number one sport. So obviously you got like
Nah.
basketball. NFL is quite big. American,
Yeah, big,
American
big.
football.
Baseball
You
back-
got
yeah,
baseball's
baseball
quite
for
big
sure.
over there.
Yeah.
You got the Mets and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
Basketball.
how did you end up watching football? Like, how did you end up falling in love with the sport of football? Especially growing up in America, where it's not
100,
the
bro.
number one
Bro,
sport.
my dad, to be honest with you, like my dad, obviously, like I said, he lived his whole life abroad. He moved
Yeah.
to the U.S. Like he was there for a few. No, so again, I was born in Canada. He was only in the U.S. from when my brother and sister were born. So he's only been there since 2001-ish times. So for him, I'm living in New York, but I'm growing up in a foreign household. Like
Yeah.
when I'm at home, there's football on the TV every single day. On the
Yeah.
weekend, the TV is on all the time. Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, Bundesliga. We had all the channels. So that's really the reason why. My dad is a Man United fan, so he got me into
Yeah,
that. But
yeah.
he's just a football
real,
nut.
real brother. You hear
Yeah.
that?
So like,
Real-
did
listen,
you call it football or soccer?
So growing up with my friends, whatever, I'm with all Americans. They say soccer.
Yeah.
But for me, with my dad, he says football. So again, it's like, I'm going to school every day with all these Americans. But
Yeah.
the minute I go back home, I'm not
It's a
really
football team.
living in an American household
Yeah.
per se. So yeah, my dad is like, I say he's a Man United fan. He's a huge Man United
Yeah.
fan. Like, bro, if I show you the amount of messages this guy sends me, but he's just a football nut in general.
Yeah.
And he's the one who tells me all these stories about these old players. Like, honestly, the reason like I know so much about different stuff for the most part is because he introduced me to all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really tough growing up, right? Because I remember my neighbor is a big football fan. Outside of that, bro, no one in my school watched football like that. I genuinely mean that. No one else. There were two of us.
Wow.
That's it.
You
Like,
got bullied. No, 100%.
Not even, bro.
He's
Not
the
even.
only one that watches football.
He's got one Brendan.
No, why-
He's got one Brendan that he chats to
One
every day.
Brendan.
That's it.
What's the guy's name?
Yeah.
What's the Brendan's name?
You know what?
'Cause
Actually,
I could get
you know,
up.
actually, one of my sorry, I had two. One of them is Byron. You know Byron.
yes, Byron. Yeah,
So
yeah,
Byron
yeah.
went to school with me and stuff like that. But anyways, bro, those are the only three people that actually like watch football. Outside of
Yeah.
that, no one gives a shit about football.
Yeah.
2010 World Cup, I always say changed things a lot because then all of a
You
sudden,
lot were
like,
there, innit?
not even that, but like it was then okay during lunchtime or whatever. If you want to go watch, if you want to get out of like lunch or whatever, you go and watch it over there. And some people will just watch for the fun of it. And
Yeah.
then I think from 2010 it started to grow even more in the US.
And that's when you
Before that,
start becoming the cool kids. That's when you start becoming the cool kids.
Nah, I would never say football became like a cool sport. It was always basketball and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But bro, honestly, growing up, no one. Like I remember the 2010 World Cup, bro. My team that I was playing with had a game that same day, like right before the World Cup final. I'm thinking like, yo, we're gonna miss the game and shit like that. These guys probably don't even know that the World Cup final's going after. After the game, they want to go grab pizza. I'm like, bro, the final's
just
being
going
played right
around,
now, bro. And
yeah.
yes, it's about to go play. It was mad to me.
Also, they
but-
generally did
bro,
not care
I
about
promise
football.
you,
like
Come on, fam.
I
that.
promise
They did
you.
not care about football.
Nah,
like that.
honestly, where I was growing up, bro, it was not big whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you,
That's
you
crazy.
mentioned your team there. So you played in the football team.
Yeah, I played football my whole life. To be
What
fair.
position did you play mainly?
Midfield. Because I was. Yeah, you see this guy.
Wow, that's fun.
Why are you laughing like that? Why are you laughing like that?
interviewing and he's laughing.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You were playing in midfield.
Bro, you know what it is? I've always been small. And
Yeah,
I'm not like the fastest person or
Yeah.
whatever. So for me, playing wing or whatever, that wasn't really my thing. But I could always pass the ball and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I just played midfield, bro.
Yeah, no, I
Honestly.
hear you. Now, I just remember what they did to you in Qatar. That's why.
Yo, this guy's brother.
What they did.
Put the clip
Bro,
on.
can I just say something, yeah? Obviously, these men were already in Qatar. Like,
Yeah.
you lot landed the day before me, so I was the last one to arrive, yeah? obviously I arrived, I check into the hotel, and obviously I'm like, yo, let me go see
These
them.
guys are
Let
bro.
me go say hi to the man them. I come out, these men are in the courtyard.
No.
Everyone,
Look, first off, that's not what you
Yeah.
did. You got changed into your gym clothes as soon as you landed and
did.
said, I'm
Yeah,
going
yeah,
to the gym.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what he did.
I did do that. I did that. No,
He's a sick man. He's
Alright,
a
fair.
sick man.
Fairs,
yeah,
Fairs,
yeah.
you got me. I did do that. You got me. But anyway, as I've got to the courtyard now to go see them, I just see this guy, veins coming out red. Veins coming out. He's veins coming out. Like say, nah, what are you talking about? I didn't do that. Nah, these men are just hating.
Bro,
he
you know
was
what it
going
is?
on a full
Can I
full
explain
run.
what happened though? So a few of us played ball over there, just a casual session or whatever. But you know what it is with me, right? Because these guys see me on SDS like chopping it up and talking about ball or whatever, they hold me to a higher standard than other guys. That's really what
you
it
gotta
is.
get scrutinized, basically.
Bro, massively. And I've never claimed that I'm the best player ever, but I can play at a decent level, right?
Yeah.
When I mess up, people are like, cameras out, blah, blah, blah. It's like they're watching, it's like paparazzi. Bro,
That's how it is,
hold on,
though.
hold on.
The videos they sent in the group chat,
Hold
yeah.
on, Liban. Star player. I clocked. I'm judged different, bro. I'm judged
Yeah,
massively
no,
different. Star
100%.
player took a free kick. It went out for a throw-in. No one says a word. Me, I miss a pass. These guys are on to me, bro. I'm like, what's going on here, bro?
Nah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Nah, they had it out for you. I'll be
Nah,
honest. They had it out for you.
You know
still.
what?
From when people that don't even kick ball, like know nothing about
Bro,
ball.
that's what I'm saying. I'm seeing
Kyle,
KGD. I'm seeing KGD.
program.
I'm seeing
has
KGD.
no, he doesn't care about football. He has no interest in football whatsoever. Was getting on to him. That's what I said.
I was like, yo,
there's an agenda. There's an agenda. Yeah.
Bro,
Come back.
It's bigger than us.
I couldn't believe it. I said KGD. I said
Yeah,
fairs, man.
he's a-
Bodybuilder is getting on to me. Say no more.
He kills Salah all the time. He kills
Oh,
Salah.
Yes, he does.
So why can't Kyle kill Lias? Why? I don't understand.
You know, you put it like that. Fair enough.
Yeah, leave it. Like,
No,
if you're
it's true. No, it's true. No, I just think because obviously, you know what it is? I think it's more of a compliment to you because obviously you know a lot about football.
yeah.
So the fact that you know a lot of football, people just expect that.
Just put you on the ball,
They just feel like you should be able to play football as well. I don't know why.
Faysal kind of gets similar treatment as well.
Yeah,
Everyone
no.
looks at him. with
It's
a
like
microscope.
Stephen A. Smith with basketball.
Yeah.
Like, because he does so much analysis on basketball and
Yeah.
he's prominent in terms of the basketball world. People didn't expect him to be able to play basketball as
but
well.
Stephen
It's
can
like-
shoot, bro.
He
You
can
ever seen
shoot,
Stephen A.
but,
shoot?
but you see how people getting onto him as well. It's crazy.
Of course. But anyways, going back to what I was saying before, I
Yeah.
grew up playing, but that was my team. I'm telling you, we had a game an hour before the World Cup final. These guys didn't care about it. I was like, yo, this is mental.
That's crazy.
Bro. This is
the
mental.
team name?
That's mental.
I don't even remember. It was like just called under 12 and then my talent team. That's really it. But this is what it was
They
2010.
didn't care about football,
Bro, no, nothing.
Yeah, we're called under
Yeah.
12.
No, bro, it was
We're from
it was-
Manhattan.
Of course, I understand. Back then, football wasn't a big
Nah,
thing,
not at all.
obviously. So I'm kind of still surprised that there wasn't much interest in the World Cup final.
It's
Obviously,
America,
like,
man. And you see what's
yeah, but
happening
look,
there.
15 years later now,
Man,
look,
them are
they're
catching,
about
man.
to have a World Cup
now
final.
it's- now
It
it's
doesn't
now-
matter. It doesn't matter. Like the man them are catching STIs out there. They don't care about the football. No. Am I lying?
We
It's
need
the
to move.
highest.
We need to move on to the next section.
Let's we are gonna move on.
Hey,
We're
it's
gonna
the
move on.
highest.
We're
We're gonna move on, man.
We're gonna move on. We're
I'm
gonna move
gonna
on,
be
brother.
honest.
But listen,
The man them
obviously,
don't like being honest. Everyone's. You think they care about football, fam? World Cup
So,
final.
Lias,
They don't give a damn, fam.
listen,
you moved from the US
Exactly.
to the UK. It was a very big decision you had to make. What criteria, what factors led into that decision for you?
How old was you when you moved here?
When I moved here, what year was it? It was 2021. It was 2021.
So after like uni and stuff.
So this is what happened. I did uni. Well, I did my 4 years undergrad in New York, and I did engineering. I did electrical engineering. And for me, I always say this: like when I graduated, what we call high school, in my head, I knew my passion was football, right? But I was thinking to myself, like, is there even like a chance a kid from New York with an American accent is ever going to really be able to do this as a job? There was a bit of doubt. And then also I was like, how do I like make this a career? Like social media or whatever didn't even come into account. The only thing I could really think of was like, oh, let me be a sports journalist or whatever. But I remember my dad, he told me, he was like, okay, you like football, but journalism, you don't write, you don't read the news or whatever. How are you going to do that? And I was like, you know what, fair enough. And back then it's also like, what are you good at? Math and science. Go be an engineer. So I did that for 4 years. But in the back of my head, I always knew I wanted to do football. And then when COVID hit, I always say COVID, obviously, really detrimental time for a lot of people, but I also think it did help some people as well too, because I think that year away from like reality kind of like it kind of like gave people a different mentality about stuff. Like it kind of like reset everything. And for me, it at least gave me a chance to kind of like take a step back and like realize, is this really what I want to be doing in my life? Like engineering is cool to be doing in college or whatever, uni, but doing it 9 to 5 every single day for the rest of your life, that's a totally different ask. And I told myself, I was like, let me take a year off. I went and did like customer service at this one store for a year. while I was doing like YouTube videos in my basement, just seeing like where it would take off, to be honest with you. And my dad, I always kind of was like afraid of telling him like, look, I don't want to do this long term. Because like he's an engineer as well too. So like there's also a little bit of it like, oh, I want to just like, I'm doing it because he knows how to do it. And it's like, okay.
Following your father's footsteps.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. And like it was kind of difficult for me eventually to like just go up to him and be like, nah, this ain't really what I want to do. And also to then tell him I want to pursue football.
Yeah.
And he basically told me, I'll never forget this. He told me like, A, I could tell you're not into engineering, like no shit. But B, it was like, I'm going to support you in whatever you do. But if you're going to do this, you have to do education. Like you have to pursue an education way of doing it. Because for him, he's the first person in his village in Algeria to ever make it to like Canada and the US by like getting a job and like graduating. So for him, education is everything. I said, okay, bet, we'll do education. But if that's the case, I want to go do it in the UK. Because I feel like if I want to get into football and stuff like that, me doing it in New York, you're gonna be capped.
Yeah,
like if I can do it in the UK, at least there, football is the main sport. It's all around you. You're immersed in it. He said, all right, go apply for some schools. Let's see what happens, and we go from there. I managed to get into this one school, St. Mary's. It's like Twickenham.
Yeah.
And yeah, a few months later, I was on my way. I left everything behind.
Was that online course?
No, it was in person.
In person.
I left everything behind. My family, my friends, all that stuff. Came to the UK, did a year course, master's in sports journalism.
Yeah, and that was in the same time. That was in conjunction with when you was doing. So in that time, was you still doing content as well? So did you start doing content as you started?
At this point, right? So when I was in New York in this gap year, right? I'll never forget this. On my birthday, it's actually funny. A month before that, or 2 months before that, you can probably still find out on my account. I tweeted at Bleacher Report. I said, "Hire me, LOL." 3 months later, on my birthday, or day after my birthday, February 24th, I still have the DM. They DM'd me saying, "Yo, do you want to do some work with me?"
Wow.
I said, "What the hell do I want?" Of course. No, at first, bro, when I got the message, you know how it says Bleacher Report DM'd you?
Yeah.
I was like, hold on, did someone like make their account Bleacher Report to try and troll me or something like that? I clicked on it. I saw that. I looked at my phone for like 30 seconds. I was like, this is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm still working with them today. But yeah, that was like the content I was kind of doing on the side. But at that time, it was so small. The pay wasn't insane. I was just getting started and stuff like that. So I really had that going on. And I was doing like match reactions in my basement. But outside of that, content-wise, not really too much, to be honest with you. I was making comps on Twitter a lot those days, but nothing really like substantial, to be honest.
And is that what kind of grew your the Twitter page? Was it more the comps?
The comps helped as well too, and then the Bleacher Report videos helped, and I was just always tweeting, to be honest with you. Like I've had this account for a long ass time, like since
It wasn't always Lyes Buziti 10, was it?
Nah, at one point it was
a whole lot of Lyes.
It was a whole lot of Lyes. Even before that, at one point I think like my first ever account was like Lyes_Messi 10. Like that's how early I was on Twitter. Like I was like a football fan, like not a fan account because like I still showed my face, but like nothing professional.
So what I've gathered from this is you was a nerd and you was a Messi glazer. That's all.
Messi's always been my guy, though. Messi's always been my guy.
I could tell. Messi was always.
I've just been on the right side of history.
Your dad's a Rider Storm. Huh? Your dad's a Rider Storm trooper.
With what? The managers?
No, yeah, he's with me. Tell the truth. Tell the camera the truth, man. Guys, let me just tell you something. Lyes' dad is a Rider Storm trooper. He's not a Rider Storm.
My dad is more.
He is a Rider Storm trooper.
My dad is more fickle about Man United than me, bro. In terms of like players and managers, bro. My dad hated Ten Hag. He's already done of Emery, I'm pretty sure. He couldn't stand all the. He's got a short patience. But think about it. My dad's been watching Man United since like the 80s, bro. So for him, he has a high. I said George Best. Brian Robson, bro. That's how.
Is it not George Best?
George Best is a little earlier before that.
Now, but listen. Anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna start talking about obviously your journey with SDS.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've been a member for a few years now. How it came about for you? Obviously, I know how it came about. Do you want to remind them?
I don't even know.
You've been a member for a few.
I was gonna say, do you remember though the first time I actually ever interacted with SDS? Because it was with you.
Yes, you did tell me.
You remember that?
You did tell me that.
I think you would have. Bro, I tweeted at you. I'm pretty sure. Bro. Like I was just like, I wouldn't say I was like a big SDS watcher. I'm not trying to like because the channel was new at that point.
It's coming.
Like,
you're allowed to glaze.
No, I wasn't gonna glaze. I was gonna say I wasn't a big SDS. I wasn't gonna glaze. I was gonna say I wasn't watching SDS like that before. Yeah, some meaty channel, man, before I kind of... Nah. So there was an episode that came onto my my For You page, or my recommended page. And to be honest with you, I'll be very honest with you guys. I don't watch a lot of football content on YouTube. Like podcasts, all that stuff. I don't really watch a lot. But there's some stuff that interests me. So one of those episodes you guys dropped at that time, this was in the old studio as well too, it was a Guess the Player.
Yeah.
And I watched it, I was like, let me try this out. And you, one of your players was Diego Milito.
Yeah.
And I saw Diego Milito, and obviously that's one of my favorite players ever. I tweeted at you like immediately after. I was like, Diego Milito, hey, you're elite, bro. Good looks for putting this in. So that's the first time I ever even like interacted with SDS.
Yeah, but and we followed each other straight away, I think.
Outside of that, after that, So it's funny. I met Fuad when I was in New York because we did a YouTube live together, but he wasn't part of SDS then. So he's the first person I ever met. So we did it. He was in London, but we did like a Zoom basically. Yeah, we did some content together.
Okay.
He's the first person that's now on SDS that I ever met.
Yeah.
I met Abs Busquets next because we did this thing called the Football Terrace where they had like this live show, and I met him there in person. We said, So there's like this football channel. It's called the Football Terrace. What do you think I said?
I thought you said the.
I think I know what you're
Yeah, I thought you said a man thing. Okay.
The football terrorists.
Yeah.
Double one.
I was going to say, what's that, fam? That's mad.
It's explosive conversation.
I'm thinking that's a mad channel. Like.
No, we did this thing called the Football Terrace, and they had like this live show, basically, like it's like a live edition of the podcast, and Abs was there that day.
Yeah.
And this was, what's so funny? It was the week that we lost 4-1 to Watford, and Ollie got fired. And he's a big Ollie fan. Me, I didn't mess with Ollie. I'm telling him, bro, Ollie's gonna get smacked. He's like, we're about to win 4-1 this weekend. Watch. We lost 4-1 to Watford. He got fired.
I think that clip actually resurfaced on Twitter.
It
recently.
did. It resurfaced.
My hair is looking
It
nuts
did,
in that
it did,
picture.
it did.
Abs.
And they both look like babies in that.
Abs'
It's crazy,
drip has
bro.
not improved.
It's only a
over the
few years ago. And it's only a few years ago,
Yeah, it's like 3 years
right,
or so. So Abs was the second person I met, and then the third person I met was actually Sharky. To be fair, now that I think about it, I was hosting these spaces after games, the Bleacher Report, and Sharky came on after the Arsenal Spurs game, and we spoke for a little bit. So that's the first time I ever spoke to Sharks. And then Faysal is the first person I think I got to like actually know like seriously, which is so funny now. Like when you look at me, I'm always bickering, but he's the first person I actually got to know seriously because we were doing this other podcast and we were on it together. And I remember he must have messaged me after. He's like, "Yo, good stuff. I'm gonna see if I can get you on SDS one of these days, though, bro. You're elite." I was like, I didn't really take him seriously. I didn't think he was gonna get me on SDS. I was like, good looks, nice to meet you. And then how it kind of broke down relates to you. I think it was a table. It was for Champions League preview, group stage, and it was supposed to be you. Faysal, Stars, and Sharks. And I think you can tell them what happened.
And then we went to Toronto that week, and then bro, I remember we went to watch the Man United also. So Anthony's debut. We went to one sports bar over there. Food was elite. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's an amazing, massive sports bar. It's like near the CN Tower. You might be familiar. I'm not too sure, but it was a mad sports bar. Food was crazy, bro. I remember on the plane back home, all I'm hearing my stomach going. I said, this one got me because it was literally the day that was flying out. Yeah. Obviously, by the time I got back to London, bro, that night, stomach was going crazy. So I told them, yo, I can't make it for this episode. Then that's where you got the call up.
Yeah, so, Faysal, bro, you know what's crazy? This is like half an hour before they recorded.
Yeah.
Faysal messages me, yo, bro, we're doing a Champions League group stage. Do you want to come on?
Yeah.
And it's actually funny because I was working for this other company at the time, and I was unsure if I even could. And me and Cam worked together at this company, right? So I was messaging Cam. I was like, yo, you think I should do this? Like, and then I was messaging this guy who was like managing me a little at the time. I was like, you think I should do this if it's going to be a conflict? And eventually I was like, I don't really give a damn, actually. Let me just go do it. But this was like he called me 30 minutes before. And bear in mind, this is when, like, this was at the old studio. I was like mad far away. I had no trim. My drip was dead that day. I just basically booked an Uber, went straight there.
Yeah.
And I remember on the way there, I was like, big channel. It's probably the biggest channel I've been on so far on YouTube. Like, are they going to take well to me because of my accent and stuff like that? And lo and behold, bro, the reception was like amazing in the replies. Everyone was like saying, "Oh, it's a great guest. Bring him back." I was like overwhelmed because honestly, beforehand, I was like, "Oh, they might just like think I'm like, who the hell is this guy?" Basically, I came on the next week, like immediately after, because we beat. No, you're saying that you were in Toronto for the Arsenal United game. I don't think you were for that game. I think that was the week after.
No, it definitely was that game. No, it was definitely that game.
Maybe it was a few days later. We did a match reaction for it or something.
Yeah, because I think it was that same week. I think it
something
was.
like that. Yeah, because I came on the next week for that, and then I just never stopped coming on.
Now I remember when you came on. Obviously, because we needed a last minute. I remember you came on and everybody watched it, but everybody in the group chat, I remember, was just saying good things about you.
Yeah.
I think you might be right, Lies, because I remember Sharky the week after the PR run-up, and you jumped on and he said, I don't know what was better, Anthony's debut or your debut last week.
It was something like that.
Yeah, I remember he said something like that. Are you sure it's that game? Are you 100% sure?
I so when I had that whole sports bar thing, we was watching the Man United.
Are you sure it wasn't? Are you sure it wasn't Man United Liverpool? Are you sure it wasn't Man United Liverpool? Because that was the game before that.
No, it was Anthony's debut.
No, he was in the thing. That's when Fuizzi
Anthony's debut.
We watched that in shots.
I watched Anthony's debut in Toronto.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I remember because he came.
Do you know what I think happened? I think his Champions League debut came when you were on the channel, and then that game happened, and you were meant to be on the next week.
And then maybe
Lies came back on for that one.
Okay, maybe potentially, yeah. But I just remember in the group chat, everyone was just saying like, And I watched it as well, and I was just saying, yeah, this guy's elite. Because like he, you know what it is with you. You talk with a lot of confidence. You can tell it's somebody that generally has an interest in it. They know what they're talking about. Yeah. And anytime you hear someone talk with that kind of conviction and actually truly knows what they're talking about, it entices you. You want to actually hear what they have to say. And I was like, yeah, and this guy's elite. And then, bro, it wasn't even that long enough that Sharky decided, yo.
Yeah, he kept inviting me over and over and
we
over.
kept you. Do you know what I mean?
No, I always say, like, SDS, right? Like, that's one of the best things that ever happened to me in life, to be honest with you. Because, first of all, it gave me a platform that I was probably, like, crying out for, like, most of my life, in terms of, like, a huge audience. People are tuning in. I'm talking to people who love football just like me. That was a huge opportunity. But just in general, man, the opportunities that we gotten from it, man, it's surreal, bro. I'm going to places around the world. I'm doing cool stuff. Like, I'm getting opportunities on top of that because they see me on SDS. Yeah. I always say, like, it's one of the best things that ever happened to me in my life, for sure. And
I always feel like another thing is, and I always feel like people don't see, obviously, they might see us on the on the SDS sometimes, obviously, having heated debate. Obviously, we're going to touch on your rivalry with Faysal and stuff like that.
Yeah. We had a rivalry last year, too.
But what they don't... with me, it was a good one. It was entertaining. It was a good one. It was one for the ages, I'm not going to lie. But what people don't actually understand is that outside of that, bro, it's actual real, like, brotherhood.
Bro, I consider you guys my family.
Yeah, like, literally, it's a real brotherhood. And even you coming on your first time, I bet you felt like you was welcome.
Mad welcome, bro, for sure. So, honestly, there was never any like personality clashes or like awkwardness. Like I felt at home like immediately.
Yeah. Did you ever feel like I'm not gonna get along with this person?
Was there anyone? Was there any one particular SDS member you just thought? Seriously, shut your mouth. Yeah. Shut your goddamn mouth, man.
Honestly, man, like you, bro. No. Honestly, I can confidently say I never had any like restrictions or whatever, like never.
Have you ever met Rinedy?
Had I ever met him? Or have I ever met, wait, who? Remedy.
No, Rinedy.
Who's that? Is he on the pod? I don't see him often, that's why. Which one is he?
Oh, my Ludo brethren.
The Ludo brethren.
Oh, the guy I know on Ludo. Yeah.
Ludo one. The Liban Fu show.
Is he on this pod?
Is he on this pod? Yeah. You should probably see him over here and there.
It's gonna be like that Ian Wright meme when he comes in.
Yeah, but no, honestly, I've never had any problems. You know what's actually funny though, bro? Like, from when I first like got on, maybe like after like 2 months, I knew from the jump Fuad would make a good person for this.
You know what? To be fair, you said it to me, and I don't even remember, but you were saying it to me one time before an episode we was recording, and you said you actually said it to me. You said one person that I think would be really good for the channel was Fuad, and you said it like maybe a month before.
Bro, I said it, but I was telling Sharky and even you. I kept telling you guys, I was like, because they kept like, is there anyone? I was like, bro, Fuad is elite. Like in terms of his personality, it's perfectly made. And I think you even asked me about Cam. You said, would Cam make it? I was like, yeah, Cam's my guy. And I think he'd do well as well, too. But trust me, I think Fuad is, like, perfect for this show.
Yeah.
So if you guys hate Fuad now, I'm the person
you know who to come to.
All these Arsenal fans that hate Fuad on the show, it's all me.
And if you hate Lyes, just blame my diarrhea as well.
But no, when Lyes suggested that, when Lyes suggested Fuad, I was like, here we go, another Somali, man.
Another Somali. Hey, that's good. What you mean by that, man? Fuad would be good for the episode. What you mean by that?
Yes, man.
What you mean by that, homie?
Are you trying to say me Somali sports, man?
Alright, but honestly, quickly, one thing before we move on, that your rivalry with Faysal, that is a rivalry that a lot of people love.
For the ages.
Yeah, no, it's something that obviously...
Can it be a rivalry if it's so one-sided, though?
We always beat his ass.
Shots taken already. Shots already taken.
Arab on Arab crime is a
do you know what it is? It's like, I know what you mean. It's not a rivalry. You're beating his ass. Like the Embiid meme. You're beating his ass.
Bro, I'm up 1,000 points right now.
You are.
That's why I moved on to you last year, bro. I needed competition.
That's a compliment, though. Why you acting like it's the diss?
No, he's saying basically, but he's saying he won that one as well.
He did not win that.
He did not win that.
No. He joined me. I'm the Rock. I'm the Rock. He's John Cena. He's hugging. He's hugging Sharky. He's doing that with me. That's what he's doing. He's looking and I'm telling you this. I'm doing that. Yeah. I'm saying kill him. This year we teamed up. This year.
Who's Travis Scott?
Travis Scott. We know who that is, man.
I'm not Travis. Fam, what are you talking about? All right, cool. Another one. What? How many times do you bash a day? If you're always gonna do that, I'm just gonna come on them things. I'm gonna come with that. That's what I said.
No, but, this guy.
Is that what you want me to do?
This guy, yeah. This
Is
guy,
that what you want to send me?
Like, he's rattled today. He's rattled today.
Nah, Faysal, just quickly on Faysal, man. Like,
Yeah.
I think at one point people probably did think, like, yo, is there actually beef between them? I hope Faysal never thought that way. Like,
No,
I think he did.
You were thinking,
I think personally.
I think he took it personally.
I think at one point Faysal,
I
like,
think he did. I think at one point maybe, but I think he probably.
Because, bro,
I think he was short fused.
I actually got so much love for Faysal, honestly. Like, I
He
got,
don't like you though.
no, it's fine. He don't have to, but I got so much love for Faysal. This guy, that's a crazy instigator, bro. I mean, actually, I got so much. It's not that much love, honestly.
No, he's like, yeah, I love it. You don't like it. It's crazy, bro.
No, but all jokes, I actually do like a mad love
No,
for
of
Faysal.
course,
I think
of
he's
course.
super talented. I love what he's doing on his channel now. Like
Yeah.
for me as well too. He motivates me
Yeah.
in terms of his YouTube, like how well he does on that. It pushes me as well too, bro. Like
Do
he
you think
puts
there's
out,
like a competitive edge a little bit?
like Rio,
on
like
YouTube.
you can tell there's a bit of just enjoy it.
No, but do you think there is? Do you think you push each other in that way? Like, do you think?
But
you
not, but honestly, and not in a competitive way whatsoever, because we do
Yeah.
different kinds of content.
course,
Me,
yeah.
it's a lot of Prem. He's doing La Liga and stuff like that, and it's different styles in terms of how we're doing it.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, yeah, like he sees me doing well, I see him doing well. It inspires me to make more videos and stuff like that. 100%, bro. Like I'm sure if Faysal's not feeling like making a video or something like that, and he sees me like doing videos,
Working hard,
he
of
wants
course.
to do it, and then
Yeah.
vice versa as well
No,
too.
facts. No.
I want
100%.
to talk about someone else for the SCS. Obviously, you were there when we were filming in Sharky's house and stuff like that, and then we came to this studio setup that we're now recording in. And what's special about these three right now that I'm looking at, this is the first table we had on the STS new studio as well. It was our PR roundup.
Yes, it was.
It was this is the table where 7-0 happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, fun's over. I
sorry.
can't lie, fun's over.
I'm just saying it was a
That's
special moment.
actually
as
an
you
iconic
three.
story though. Have you guys like talked about that story about how
What,
you
the
missed the
7-0?
first half? And
Yeah, we mentioned it. Yeah, we mentioned it. Yeah, we did.
But we could talk about it again.
No. Honestly, no need.
We can talk about it 7 more times,
we
man.
could talk about it again.
No,
It was actually the 7-0 anniversary the other day.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was the anniversary the other day.
That was dark. That was
Yeah,
dark.
next topic,
That
guys.
was dark. No, I can't lie. It was a dark time. I'd be so real. No, it was a dark time still.
Nothing's
But-
changed since then.
Yeah.
It's just gone from
No,
worse
no, to be
downhill.
fair, yeah, it has. It
It's
hasn't
gone worse.
It hasn't changed still.
Well, we're up for a special moment, but we could
No,
actually.
it's a nice special moment that we're all looking back at it and having
I
memories.
can't lie. He ruined the mood.
Sorry.
No,
yeah,
he's
media-
just like,
Sorry,
I can't lie, he ruined the mood. Just wanted to slightly move on a little bit, but not too far off, because I want to talk about the fact that you've won Mastermind back to back. Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's casual.
Oh man, not again.
You know I hate this. You know I hate this energy so much. He moves like it's like it's
You're
like,
lucky you
it's-
haven't come up against someone like me.
Wow.
No, that's fact.
I haven't come up against you because you can't win.
I can't
You gotta
win.
get to get to
No,
me, bro.
I can win, but it's like he gets the easier matchup.
Is it?
Who's my easier matchup?
Who's your the first ever Mastermind? Who'd you have
Had
first?
star player.
I had star player.
Star player will wash you though.
I've seen
No,
Star
hold
player
on.
games.
Fuzi, you played one game of Mastermind, right?
No, 2.
Who's the other one? Yeah, one.
You had one.
Yeah,
bro.
one.
Good luck.
Who did you?
Faysal.
Who'd you play?
Faysal.
I beat Faysal in the final.
Yeah, exactly. What does that mean?
What?
What does that mean?
So what?
Nottingham Forest beat us in the league. Does that mean they're winning the Premier League?
What, so
Does it mean
Well,
Nottingham
he won
Forest?
he won the.
Listen to
he
what
won
I'm-
Mastermind.
listen
He
to
won
what
the whole
I'm
league.
saying.
He won the whole league. He's Liverpool. And
Yeah,
you're
but he
Nottingham
hasn't
Forest.
played me.
But you're Nottingham
He
Forest.
hasn't played me. He needs to play me. He hasn't played me.
This is like back in the day
He'll
when
struggle, bro.
This is like back in the day when
He'll
what, I gotta go play.
struggle.
I gotta go play
I'll be
championship
real,
teams, bro. I'm in the
what's his
Prem. I gotta
record
play
on,
championship teams.
What was his record saying when he was playing in the
I think
guest?
he lost every single game.
What guess?
The most guests you lost.
Well,
to.
I smoked that guy in that thing.
This guy,
Wait, YouTube commented, bro. What's it called? Career path. I killed him, fam.
You're
No,
actually.
I
You know what it is with
slaughtered him.
Fudo?
Well,
He's actually like.
Don't you
he-
remember? Honestly, I'm.
Do you know what we need? We actually need a special episode of Fuizzi versus
Bro,
Saeed TV.
I'm murdered.
That's a good episode.
That'll be-
Sharky was
That's a
saying
good
the
episode.
club, like he'll be on his second club. I'm saying the player's
But
name.
Fu, you know what it is?
Killing him,
You're
fam.
actually
I hear it,
surprisingly good at like some aspects of like in terms of career path. You're
Yeah,
actually you're good at that, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
obviously when it comes to the whole game of Mastermind, I don't think so.
No,
But
no,
for
the
that one,
first-
bro-
the first-
No, that's not fair. When you played Faysal, when you played Faysal, you beat him in that.
The way you said it, I didn't really like it. I didn't really like it.
It's the truth.
I took that personally. The first game, yeah, you beat me.
I'd smoke you.
I'll give you that. Yeah,
I'd smoke you, let's be
okay,
real.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
Every single other ones,
I'd still smoke you.
No, we're going head to head.
No, I think
bro.
career mode, honestly, you could probably give me a push.
See, that's the thing.
But that's 1 out of 4.
You already got it wrong. Career mode. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. It's called career path.
You see what?
Nah,
You
he's
see-
not today.
you see what?
He's
Nah,
still
you
not
know what it
today.
is? You see when guys are down 1,000 points, they try and find little points
Yeah,
here and there, bro. Like
that's
little,
career
oh, use
path.
the career mode. There you go. There's your pity
The
point.
first
bro.
one, you'll probably have me. Not gonna lie. But career path, it'll be a good.
But Mastermind isn't just career
Career
path,
path,
bro.
yeah,
That's the
man.
problem,
Alright,
though.
what else is
There's
there?
a buzz around.
There's a
Buzz
bu-
around. Alright, say no. Let's do it. I'll smoke him as well.
Well, we might get to that. We might get to that.
No, no,
This
no,
is the-
This is the Lies episode, by
Yeah,
the way.
it's
So we're
not
gonna
that
get back to
food.
Yeah,
Lies.
yeah, but I'm just saying the mastermind. The reason why he's winning, he's not playing people like me. Has he played you yet?
He hasn't played me yet.
Yeah, that's
But
what
we
I'm-
can ask him that. We can ask
That's
him
like
about
saying,
that
why doesn't Real
afterwards.
Madrid play Crawley Town, bro? Of course.
Because they don't qualify for Champions League.
Yeah, you haven't qualified for
I
Champions
qualify
League,
for
bro.
Champions League.
When?
We're all in the same competition.
No, we're not.
We're in mastermind, G.
You didn't even qualify for season 2.
But that's season 2's different
Season.
though.
First season, everyone got a bite.
He was on season 2. He was on season 2.
No, he
I
wasn't.
was on season 2.
What's that thing you was on
the live show.
in the live show?
Yeah.
Oh, he tried to ask for a ticket for season 2.
I tried to ask you for a season. I tried to ask for a
Oh
ticket.
yeah, well I forgot. Yeah.
Hey,
At
yo,
least,
hey,
at least
your
I can
co-host
ask.
is moving
You
to-
can never even dare to sniff
Yeah.
season 2.
I-
Anyway, listen.
He's angry. He's angry. He's so angry.
Let's get back to the mastermind champion.
Exactly.
This is the
exactly.
mastermind
And
champion.
I wanted to ask you because obviously I just want to know like what's your secret? I know you're studying.
I'm not
Yeah,
studying.
I know you're
Aye,
studying.
aye,
but
aye.
it's like you're studying. You're studying.
I promise you guys, I don't study. I promise you guys.
Yes.
Would you guys? What you guys gonna call me a liar?
Yeah, I'm
No,
cool.
I'm not gonna call you a liar. But
I'm gonna call you a liar.
But listen, no, I'm not gonna call you a liar. But I'm gonna say you're not telling the truth as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Well,
I'm not gonna call you a liar.
Can I ask you? Can I ask you
Yeah.
a question? How do you what's it called practice for Mastermind?
I tell
Number
you- I'll tell you
one,
how.
Go ahead.
You watch 1982 World Cup videos.
That's not practicing. Though.
That's it's part of practicing.
Is that practicing?
What?
That's
Is it
part of
hobby?
practicing.
Okay,
Why
do
do you watch
research.
it?
Sorry,
You
you
do
do
research.
research.
Is it hobby? Is it hobby now?
You're revising.
My fault.
You're revising.
If me watching old games is revising, then I revise. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
I thought when you say
That's what you
practice,
have
you're
to
like, oh,
say.
you like look up questions.
No.
Then yeah, I watch old
We're
games.
saying you're
Yeah,
you're
no,
revising,
you
as in like
revise.
you're going back in history.
Yeah.
You're watching games.
But I do that for
Not
you're-
all kicks,
you're
man.
going,
I do
You're going on
enjoyment. I don't do
Wikipedia
that.
pages, looking
No,
at
no,
people's.
Wikipedia pages is crazy. But in terms of no, it is crazy.
Okay, then what's the other
Okay,
one?
what's your
Sofa
method?
split.
All right, let's ask him. What is
what's
your
your-
secret?
yeah,
What's
yeah,
your
what's
method?
I just watch a lot of football, bro. I really do. I just watch a bad amount of football. I'll be real.
How much football do you watch on like a, let's say on a weekly basis?
Okay, so Champions League,
Yeah.
that's like 2 days, right?
No,
there.
no. Okay, I'm not talking about just.
Wait,
the
you're talking about the week.
not the live football. I'm talking about when you're like
It's spare
you're
time.
just-
but
your
I'm-
spare time.
Oh, so you're saying outside of live football?
outside of live
Nah,
football.
you know what it is. I maybe watch minimum like an old game a week. I try and watch like minimum one.
What was
old
the game this week?
Huh?
What was the game you watched this week? As in,
This week I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, okay.
You haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I
So
haven't watched it.
okay,
But like
so-
most recently I watched Real Madrid versus Barcelona 2005, the Ronaldinho game against Ramos. That's the most recent one I watched.
Get some hoes. Get some hoes.
But you know what it is, bro? Like, but Liban, you know what
Touch
it is.
grass,
You know
man.
what it is. Like, this
Get
is my
outside of your
but
house,
this is
man.
my job. This is my job in a way.
It is a
Yeah,
job.
it is a job.
Yeah,
It is.
technically, it is a job.
No, to be fair,
Yeah.
that's a fair
because
point.
here's the
fair
thing,
point.
Liban. Here's
He's
the thing,
perfecting
right?
his craft.
I don't expect anyone to do the same as me, right?
Yeah.
I see a lot of people say like, oh, I'm gonna bring this to a different thing. People are like, oh, why are you talking about stuff that you don't see? You're like, why are you watching old stuff?
That I
no,
don't
but let
agree with, so don't
me
worry
give
about
you
that.
my
Yeah,
rebuttal
yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
The way I want to be seen in this space and the way I like kind of carry myself in this space, I want to be the best of the best, bro.
Of course,
So
yeah.
for me, watching this like the game in the weekend and like I don't know, seeing the highlights of other stuff, that's
Yeah.
that's cool. I'm not judging anyone that does that.
Yeah.
But I want to be above and beyond that, bro.
Yeah.
So for me, if I know my history and I can talk about an array of different stuff and I'm
Yeah,
well
yeah.
versed on other stuff, that's going to help me in my career. That's going to help me in my
No, no,
job.
no, you're right. No,
100%.
100%.
I'm not saying it's a normal thing to do.
Yeah.
I 100% get it, bro. It's
Yeah.
tapped, bro. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
expecting anyone. I wouldn't expect you guys to be
Yeah,
watching.
yeah.
What
Fam,
I
you
was
were
saying,
laughing.
1982 World Cup.
I
Never,
wouldn't,
bro.
bro.
Never
I
in a
wouldn't.
million years.
But that's why for me,
Yeah,
like,
never.
100%. I would
Ever.
Do
I'd
you
never
celebrate?
judge you.
Do you celebrate?
No, I know the score. Bro.
Yeah!
That would be tapped. That would be tapped.
I'm tweeting.
Yeah.
That would be tapped.
What a goal.
I'm the first person to tweet from the
Oh my
1982
God.
World Cup.
I'm tweeting what a goal.
Pele should have started. Pele should have started.
What? They didn't put Pele in the lineup? He's acting like it's real.
Yo, Platini missed the penalty. Imagine I started tweeting, what a goal, guys. Like,
What a goal.
It's Thursday at 11 p.m. Ain't nobody playing, bro.
Nah, man, sorry, man. I was just watching Germany first. West Germany as well. He's not even saying Germany. He's saying West Germany.
Hey, but you know what it
Against
is?
USSR.
You know what it is, bro?
Yugoslavia.
But you know what it is? How much money you made off Mastermind so far?
But I made money off penalty kick shootout.
How much? much?
I made $5.
You make as much money then.
I know, because you
I made
made
more.
I get it.
Come on,
no,
man,
no, I get it.
But how about this? How about
Okay,
when
say
you
this
won
way.
Mastermind and when you won your football money shootout, what did you both do?
We went to Toronto. We did homecoming for him.
That was a good trip. That was a really good trip.
I had to go guard of honor when you went off the car.
Bro, I came on Toronto Pearson Airport. That's what it's called, right? Toronto Pearson Airport. So we come up, and I've just seen people doing this.
Caravana,
That's our Mastermind check.
Oh, Caravana!
They gave me the guard. Hey, they gave
all
me
I'm saying is,
they gave me the guard of honor there.
his waist. I didn't.
It's like jelly.
I didn't know your waist can move like that. Alright, listen. I need to shake your hand still.
Huh? Put your hand away.
Now, all I'm gonna say about them, Lias, you got moves. That's all I'm gonna say to you. That's it. Just know, I know about him. I know about him. I know about him.
Allegations, man.
Yeah.
Allegations, but
Alright.
nah,
One too short.
What was that song that you love singing?
Girl, me know you want me. Me tell her she want me. Me know she want me.
And you know with Lias, he has to keep the football aspect. He's doing it with a Kaka shirt as well.
I did wear that Kaka shirt.
He's doing it with a Kaka shirt.
I did wear that 07 Kaka shirt, bro. Yeah, I
That's
did.
a shirt though.
Is that the one you got signed from him?
Nah,
But it was a good shirt.
I got that like a week before. I was like, yeah, it's coming to Toronto.
Yeah, that was a good trip. That's actually one of my. I've been on so many holidays, but that's one of my favorite ones. Just
you
because
mentioned it.
It was just a funny dynamic. Even the whole chewing gum thing, that one there.
Wow. Can we even mention that story? Can we mention that story? Liz, can we mention that story? But how about you say you don't say where you were? You just
No. I'd rather talk about the one when the phone situation.
Yes.
At the tennis.
Yeah, the tennis. Yeah.
Oh,
That one.
that was my favorite. I was in the wrong because the chewing gum. I low-key believe. I still stand down. That I was right there.
I respect that.
The
I get
phone,
that.
I can't lie.
The
I was moving
phone,
stingy.
you was
I
moving.
was moving
He was
stingy, bro.
tweaking. Oh, he
Tweaking
was
is he was tweaking.
Listen.
Hold on, tweaking is now you're gonna make me sound crazy.
I heard tweaking.
A little bit. It was a little bit crazy. What happened was we were going to. But this was my first tennis game. I don't know if that was your
It was my first one ever.
First tennis game,
Yeah.
right? So Sharky got us some VIP tickets to a tennis game. I can't remember who was playing, to be honest. I'm not really into tennis, I'll be so real. But I thought, you know what? It's one of those things you want to tick off the list and say, I've been to a tennis game.
100.
Especially with the access that Sharky had. It was crazy,
You know what
bro.
it is with me, bro?
It was like
if
courtside.
it's free, I'm there, bro.
Exactly. No, for real.
So,
But the problem was we've been out the whole day,
Yeah.
and obviously, like me and Sharky, our phones wasn't fully charged. So by the time we got to the tennis, our phones were kind of on low battery. So eventually,
Did you have battery?
yeah, my phone.
Yeah, he had. Just know he had full battery.
I'm a real
his
brother.
his thing was still green.
Listen to this.
His thing was
Listen
still
to this. I studied the art of physics. His phone's dying. His phone isn't. He's messaging gal. He's not messaging gal. Aye, deep it. His phone's dying because yeah, we're gonna finish at 8. We're gonna finish at 8. He's not doing them things there. You know why?
I don't know, but you don't know. Man.
That's how it is.
But anyway,
I'm onto something here. I know what going.
Whatever he said, I refute it. It's not true. Listen, that's nonsense. That's not what we were there for. We were there for Toronto FC, and we were there for the food, and we were there to enjoy the festival and the culture of Caravana. That's it. That's what we were there for. So anyway, we get to the game now. Obviously, my phone's dead. Sharky's phone's dead now. So he's the only one with the phone. So obviously, as the game with tennis, the problem is you don't know what time the game ends. So the game could just drag for ages. So we've been there for a while. So obviously, it gets to the end of the game. We want to take pictures courtside. So obviously, my phone's dead. Sharky's phone's dead. So we're like, oh, he's the only one that's got a phone. So I'm like, oh, Lias, yo, I see him taking selfies and pictures. Yeah. So he's already taking pictures. So I'm like, oh, Lias, I beg you, let me use your phone to take a few pictures and I'll send it to my phone later.
Yeah.
I'm trying to grab the phone, bro.
He's not giving it, innit? He doesn't want you to take it.
I said, bro, can I get the phone?
Oh, you're dragging.
That's it. Then he goes to you, yeah. But I have to be in it.
He's
He gave us a condition. He said the only way you can take pictures of my phone is I have to be in the picture. I said, wow.
That's not exactly how it went down.
Wait,
I said, yo, let me be in it. Though.
Let's see, there you go. Let me be in it.
Me saying, yo, I have to be in it makes me sound like I had a gun to your head or something like that, bro.
I have to be in it.
But he said, let me be in it.
I said, let me be in it,
but
bro.
I was in tears, bro.
crazy.
He had me crying.
He doesn't want like two Liban and Sharky just
on his phone. I said, I'm gonna send it to my phone later.
Yeah.
But that
But then he has
part,
to delete
that
it.
part,
It's a
You know what it was?
process.
Honestly, Honestly, I think it was a storage thing. Honestly, bro, because I'm not a selfish guy like that, bro. I swear, I ain't a selfish guy like that. But I do think my storage was low. I'm like, I ain't trying to waste up my
But
storage.
why did you have to be in it then? Why did you have to be in it then?
Huh?
Why did you have to be in it then? That's what you said.
I don't know. I just feel in my fit. I can't.
Wait, but that was a funny experience that you guys had at tennis. But Fuzi, I actually wanted to talk about your Qatar tennis experience. Can you quickly just touch on that, please?
So embarrassed in my whole entire life.
What happened?
I've never been to a tennis match.
Yeah.
I don't know the rules, not the rules of tennis, but like the rules of when you're sitting down and that.
And
the
the conduct of the fan.
all that stuff.
You have to be silent.
I knew that, but I just didn't know. Let me explain basically. So I'm there, yeah. I'm in a nice box. I'm by myself, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm in a box, boom, boom, sitting down. I didn't know Hasib and Sharks were going to go to the tennis, but they were in a different box. They went to the tennis as well.
Yeah.
Cool. So I said, you know what? Let me record the tennis. Boom, boom, boom. And then I needed to go toilet.
Yeah.
I said, let me record a little bit because I can't believe this. I'm here. Then recording. Then I got up. I stood up.
Yeah.
And I
In the
got
middle
up.
of a set.
In the middle of a set.
game.
That's
Yeah.
you're not allowed to do that.
I didn't know that. Got up my seat, walked across the corridor type of thing, and then everyone's like, hey! Well, so I'm thinking, yo, did I forget something? So I walked back. To look at my seat. I was like, oh, they're not talking to me. I got everything in my pocket. Nothing's there, innit? Some Arab man. Tell me to come to him.
Yeah.
I'm going toilet.
He thinks he's VIP.
Well,
or
that's what he's
something.
doing to me.
Yeah.
No words.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, what? So I go to him. Tell him to sit down on the stairs now.
Yeah.
In his box. I'm in his box. I leave my box to go to his box.
And
I'm thinking, brother, I need to pee, fam. What is it?
Yeah.
He's like, you don't know the rules of tennis? It's like, no. And he's like,
He made them sit on the
Well, like, I
steps
sat
like a
down
naughty
on
boy.
the- on
He
the-
said,
on the
sit down
steps.
and wait for this set
he
to
said,
be
wait.
finished.
He said, wait. So I'm now, when he said, wait, I'm in the stairs. Everyone's in a box, like sitting down, but I'm in the stairs. And I'm thinking, bruh, this whole arena,
Can see.
this whole court is looking at me, sitting in the stairs. I had a nice, comfortable seat. Now I'm in the
And
stairs.
you know, the thing is, he can't even
I
do
just-
that, and he's afraid they're gonna rip his passport.
Yeah.
Bro,
He's scared.
I just wanna-
He's scared at this point. He's
Yeah,
scared.
I don't know what's going on. I just want to go to the toilet.
So how long were you sitting there for?
Well, I was there until the girls had to stop. Like they would
That's
stop.
embarrassing.
But
Well,
it was
yeah,
so,
that's
I've
it.
never
No, man,
felt.
you know he's like-
They
no, he's
discipline-
just a
yeah, they
father.
discipline you, bro.
He's a father,
He's a
you
father,
know.
he's
Yeah, they
I've
send you.
never felt so
were their child.
embarrassed in my life.
Yeah, they
Well,
said
I had
that.
to
They
leave.
sung you.
They said, hey,
I
little
had
boy,
to
sit
leave,
down.
bro.
I had to
Yeah.
leave.
Crazy.
I went to. I didn't
You know,
go
he
to
left the whole
I
arena
left the
after
whole
that.
arena.
You have to.
I left. I
Can't
said,
show your face
well, I
again.
can't be
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
This is mad,
That's
fam.
like when you're a kid and your parent just disciplines you. Sit in the corner.
Yeah.
Ah,
That's what they did to you.
Yeah.
This is
But
nuts.
just to go back to Mastermind quickly, I wanted to ask because who is been your toughest opponent in Mastermind so far?
Oh, that's
Because
easy.
is it Culture
Oh,
Camps
come
or
on.
is it Faysal?
Nah, stop that.
Stop it. No, you. But he has
He said
to.
stop it.
he
No,
didn't.
no.
Oh, but you did say
I
stop
said
it.
Star Player's harder than Faysal, but my hardest was
fair
Culture
enough.
Camps, bro, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. No,
Yeah.
that was, and I knew it was gonna be tough. I called him out a year ago because I knew he was gonna be tough. Like
Yeah.
Cam knows a lot about football, and
Yeah.
he probably doesn't want me saying this, but he watches old games as well too.
Yeah.
Cam, but just because he puts on, just because Cam puts on this player
I
mentality,
can't
bro.
just know he threw you under the bus.
Hey,
You trying to say, hey,
Good luck, man.
hey, man.
Cam, I know he puts on this player persona. Don't get it twisted, man. He's a nerd too, man.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. But
There's something
no,
going on in the house.
Cam,
So like
Cam-
on the vintage thing.
on a what?
On a vintage thing. That's what he said.
You're nuts. But yeah, Cam was easily my toughest by far, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he still thinks he should have won that.
Yeah,
Because of, like
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
Sheffield Wednesday.
You're welcome,
thing,
by
but
the way.
my
Sheffield
guy,
Wednesday, man.
You got my
Yeah, I got the payment. I got the payment.
Crazy.
But yeah, nah,
Crazy.
he's
Crazy.
tough, bro. And the thing with Cam too is he knows how to play the game. So I always say with Mastermind, right? Like, honestly, in terms of knowledge, Fuad should be my toughest competitor.
Yeah.
Because of how much he's watched. Like, he's
Yeah.
got a 40-year advantage over all of us, right? Like,
Yeah, it's true.
this guy, right?
He's been around. He's been around.
seen like Ozzy RD, like these guys, man.
He's been around the
But
block.
he's horrible at playing games.
Yeah.
And I don't think he'd hate me for saying that. Like, when there's cameras on, he doesn't perform at his best. But
Yeah.
in terms of just knowing stuff, he knows the most. But Mastermind, as you know, is not all about how much you know. It's also about how you play the game. That's why I think you're really good at Mastermind. I think you're
Yeah.
good at these trivia stuff. Cam knows how to play the game, and he knows a lot about football. So
Yeah.
I think that was the first time I've seen your head get a little bit rattled by because Cam's
He's
I
a
remember.
wrestler. Cam's a wrestler, bro. Cam knows how to
Because you
get
usually keep your cool under
yeah.
pressure, but then it was only him that really got.
Yeah, bro, imagine me and Cam are playing Mastermind. You can see it in the thing, bro.
Yeah.
The final round is basically like you have to answer as many questions in a minute.
In a minute,
So there's
yeah,
a
yeah,
timer in front of him.
Yeah.
And I'm answering questions, and Cam is like yelling at Sharky for time when the timer's in front of him.
Yeah.
So there's 10 seconds left on the clock. He's like, time. And he's rattling me now because I'm thinking there's no time. But I'm thinking, why am I worried about Cam? The timer will
time's
ring when
right.
it's over.
Yeah.
But he's trying to get in he's elite at that, bro.
Yeah,
Crazy.
he's good
rattler,
at mind
man.
games. He's good at the mind
Mad
game.
mind games, bro.
Yeah, I see.
So
I
he's
see, I
easily my
see.
toughest, bro.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean,
Out
season
all
two,
the
season
SDS
three.
members you haven't played though, who would you say would be your toughest?
you, I would say. Well, do we
Yeah.
count what we did in terms of smartest member or whatever?
Smartest members is kind of different, isn't it? the
Yeah.
format?
So in terms of
Yeah,
Mastermind,
there
who I
are some
haven't played,
differences, yeah.
who I haven't
I
played for
think
SBS,
Mastermind
I
be
did say you.
interesting.
Yeah.
See, not you.
This guy.
But of course he's not gonna say that.
This guy's
Yeah, 'cause
preseason
he's-
friendly, bro.
He's a
Yeah.
United.
Wow. Preseason friendly.
I can't wait to
Remember
play.
when
Preseason
Say no
friendly.
more. The new
there
SDS
was
game
a-
show. You see what I got? You remember me? And you get we're together, bro.
Oh yeah, we are.
Why are you revealing stuff?
I don't care. I'm rattled now.
To be fair, by the time this episode does come
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
it'll probably be out there.
Remember when there was a clip that came out recently? Ronaldo played at Bournemouth in preseason 1 year for Real Madrid.
Yes,
That's the only time we're ever gonna play. Some preseason exhibition shit. That's it. Other than that, you won't see me.
he's saying you're basically Boreham Wood when they play against Arsenal.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Arsenal. That's what he said.
Except I'm not
I
Arsenal,
never
I
said that.
No,
though.
no, but I'm just letting you know we're on the same team, G.
I know.
Look how you're doing. No, because I can scrutinize this whole team thing and just make sure we come rock bottom, bro.
That's your business.
Then you're with me.
You know what I love? I always scrutinize is the word
I was
there.
thinking that. Scrutinize, not the right word.
Scrutinize is not the word.
Sabotage. You meant to say sabotage.
I know what you're trying to say, but
You
I'm
know what I'm
sorry.
trying to say. So it sounded good though.
I know. Scrutinize
Yeah.
is like, yo.
I articulated myself properly.
Yeah.
Didn't.
He didn't at all. No.
Didn't. You just wear Prada glasses for no reason. You're stupid, bro. Anyway, listen. You're stupid. Anyways,
That's what we're doing.
moving on. Anyway,
Say
we're
no
gonna
more.
move on. Anyway,
Say
I
no
want to
more.
ask you about something different now.
He's not gonna answer it.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna say something else. Fuck.
Like,
So-
I'm gonna name you some people, yeah.
About what?
Martin Tyler,
Yeah,
Peter
what about it?
Drury,
Yeah.
Lies Buzidi.
Damn,
What do they
that's
have in
what we're gonna
common?
ask
Okay,
about
that's
now.
fine.
That's a good company to be in.
What about
Yeah, that's
Abdul
good
Sketch? You didn't want to say Abdul Sketch, no?
No.
Is Abdul Sketch sitting in front of us?
No, but he's
Exactly.
still, he's part
No,
of the thing.
that was
Yeah,
nuts.
we're talking about him.
Hey man, hey, show him a Kuwait flag, and we don't know what he's gonna say, man. Come on, man. Liz has to hold it down for him, man.
No, but this guy, man of all trades, though.
Yes.
Yeah, just sports journalist.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Mastermind trivia champion.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? He's the commentator of Match for Hope. Do you want to talk about that? Do you want to talk about the experience? What was that like for
It
you?
was crazy.
Back to back years, by the way.
Yeah.
And you also did the
Back-to-back
Beta
years.
Squad AMP game as well.
Yeah.
And yes, he did. So that's
Yeah.
3 games. now.
Nah,
You've
bro,
done it.
honestly, that is like. So when it comes to like what I do now in terms
Yeah.
of like punditry, or if you want to call it punditry, commentating or whatever, like analysis,
Yeah.
that's something I've always wanted to do in my life. Like I was writing, you're gonna laugh, but I was literally writing like articles on football when I was like 15, 16. I've always wanted to do this. So that's like I knew he was gonna laugh, but.
Liz, why are you giving them ammo for?
Huh? No, it's not though. That's my story, bro. I've been doing this shit from the beginning, bro.
You're not joking.
But I knew you were gonna say nerd. Yeah. I gave you the layup. There you
yeah.
go. But you know what it is? That I always wanted to do. There's
Yeah.
never been a question for me. Commentating on my life has never been something in my head. I'm like, oh, I would
Of
love
course,
to be.
yeah.
It's the only commentary I ever did before this. You know, as a kid, you play FIFA and
Yeah.
like you're like talking over it sometimes.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Like, oh, like that's the only thing I've ever done in terms of commentary.
Yeah.
So it's not something I ever like pursued. It's not something I ever imagined I would ever do. I never thought I'd be commentating any game, let alone one in like a huge World Cup stadium with X players and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then when we went for Match for Hope, Sharky told us all like there's gonna be different stuff for some people to do. One of them is going to be commentating the game on BN Sports. If you're interested, put your name forward. And at first, I think it was only supposed to be one person.
Yeah.
And me at this point, I had just done a lot of cool stuff. I had done like some Serie A stuff. I had I'd gone to Saudi with Cam because I won this competition. I watched the game over there. I was doing a lot of cool stuff. So for me, I was almost thinking, I'm actually gonna let these guys get it. Like if they want it. If they want to put their name in, I'm not gonna like, take the opportunity from them.
Yeah.
And then the more I thought about it, I told my parents as well too. They're like, it would be really cool though. Like you'd be on BN Sports. Like that's a big thing you can kind of like talk about. I was like, let me just say I'm available. And if it's one person, I'll let someone else do it. I was even gonna say I'll let Abs do it.
Yeah.
And then Sharky pulled me and Abs to the side. He said like, "Yo, I want you guys to do it." And I said, "All right, let's get into it." I didn't know how to practice for it. I didn't know what to reach. I wrote as many notes as I could, like prepare for as well as I could. But then it really is a case of like when you go up to the gantry or whatever, and the microphone's in front of you and the game starts, all the practice or like notes during the game. Okay, you can go see what's his resume.
Like obviously the stats
but
and stuff like that.
until then, the minute the full time whistle, like the whistle blows, you're just kind of like freestyling. You're really just freestyling and just hoping what you're saying sounds good, and like you're hoping you can just like follow the flow of the game. I wouldn't say my first time was the most perfect time because I never done this. I don't know what to expect, but like there's sometimes I learned when the ball is too close to like the box, like when the other team is starting to attack and they get into the box, whatever you're saying, you should shut the hell up and immediately jump to the action. And maybe a few times the first time I didn't do it, but really I was like blown away at like the quality of the first game. I don't know if you guys remember the first match for Hope.
I watched it.
But honestly, like I can genuinely say this, it was actually a really high quality game. Like, in terms of these charity games, I think it's one of the best ones that's ever been played. Like the quality on display was actually a really, really good game. Even the influencers, like they played at a really high level. So I came out of it, bro. Like the adrenaline I had was insane. And then I go on TikTok and Instagram, and every time I scroll, I'm seeing
Your voice.
Ty's score and Hazard's score and Villa's score and
back.
my voice in the back. It's the most surreal feeling ever, bro.
Was it even more surreal? I think Kaka posted on his Instagram, right?
Kaka posted on Instagram like his goal with my voice in the background. And I'm thinking I'm commentating like a Ballon d'Or winner scoring a goal. Like it's crazy.
Did he tag you?
Nah, he didn't tag me.
Selfish.
But it's his voice though.
Yeah,
Like,
No, he's selfish. That's bad from Kakos.
Kaka don't know why.
Yeah, but okay. So when footballers post their videos of them score, they don't post
Because they don't put that.
any other
Martin Tyler's
name in. They're not gonna tag him when they.
Bro.
But this is different though, isn't it?
Yeah, I hear yes and no. But he's doing a job. And essentially
it was
it's
crazy,
his job,
bro.
you know,
Honestly,
so-
like
His job.
As in that
Did you apply for that role? Be real. Be
wasn't
honest.
there,
I
bro.
wasn't there, bro. How was gonna do that? He's trying to crash on you.
How many man? No, because I wanted to. How many man applied?
You know why I said that? Because the first.
Be honest. You was part of it. How many men applied for that role?
I can't reveal. I can reveal that your application was denied.
Well, I never applied for it. I want to know who applied. He would have said
with immediate effect.
Well, I knew
With immediate effect is crazy.
I never
You
applied
saying
for
with
it.
immediate effect as well?
No, if I applied for it, I would've got
I
it.
rejected his application enthusiastically.
Enthusiastically,
It's one of them ones. It's like it's not eligible.
It's not eligible.
Can't even make the first step.
And I was like, thank you.
So, well, Mercer never applied for it.
But unfortunately, there was a voice.
He actually applied for it.
But there was a voice level kind of
I respect
level we
him.
had to
I
hit,
respect
so-
him. I respect him. For him, that is out of reach. Yeah, he don't care, man. He don't limit himself.
Mercer Lies would have been a good 1-2 punch.
That would have been elite.
Mercer Lies 1-2 punch.
Oh my God, what a goal! Yes, it was.
No, wait. Why are we acting like Mercer is the main commentator? He's the co-commentator. Remember, he's gonna be the co. He'll be the main in that. Kaka on the ball.
Just pass the ball.
How surreal.
Mercer don't even got a mic to defend himself. This is crazy.
Hey, did you man press record? Did you man?
Big up Abs though.
No, big up Abs.
Abs really did his thing, man. And like again, like me and Abs didn't like coordinate.
Did you show him the ropes, or did he show you the ropes?
We never did it together, bro. Like,
No,
it's like
but in there, who was A and B? Do you know what I mean? We
Well,
want
you
to
see,
know.
that's kind of what's interesting about me and Abs, right? In most commentators, there is a main and a co.
Yeah.
With me and Abs, there really isn't one, bro. Like, we kind of just like, based on how the flow of the game is, that's probably not the best way to do it.
But who was better then? All right, who was better? You or Abs?
That's for the people to decide.
No, I
right?
want you to decide now.
I can't decide.
Was
bro.
you better than Abs on that day?
I don't give myself flowers. I give other people flowers.
I want you to give yourself flowers now. Though. Who's better? You or Abs?
Abs
Who's
was
better?
better.
He's forcing around. He's trying to force it around.
Abs was better.
Abs
No,
was better.
I'll be honest. I watched the first game.
From you.
Ah, come on,
No,
bro.
I watched the first game from home. So
Yeah.
I watched it with
capping.
commentary.
I'm
This
not
year,
capping, bro.
obviously this year I was there, so I
Yeah,
didn't get a chance to actually hear your commentary. Till now, I've already seen clips and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the first one, I actually watched it with your commentary. One, it was surreal just hearing your voice. Obviously coming from SDS to now on being sports, you got legends on the pitch. And I was just thinking to myself, you guys actually smashed it, bro. Like the synergy between both of you.
brother.
Like you guys both knew when to give each other the space to land.
good, man.
Like it was.
You know what's really
it
funny
was
about that?
crazy,
Actually, you're
yeah.
saying we gave each other the space to land. The one thing me and Abs talked about beforehand was that if one of us wanted to say something like really, really badly, what we would do if the other one was talking, tap their leg or like that's my cue to talk. So we would do that every once in a while. Like there's times where Abs really wants to say something, he'll tap my leg so that he has the thing. For me, that's not a why.
No,
bro.
I just want to.
I don't know, maybe low key, maybe. But you get away with it.
Borderline.
It's
Borderline.
special atmosphere.
Borderline.
For me, as you guys know, I'm a big Hazard fan, right?
Like this.
You're not rubbing the
I
leg.
think it's so weird, bro.
I went, Hazard's on the ball.
It's my turn to speak.
Bro, okay, you see that? You dragged it. That was crazy. But you know I'm a big Hazard fan, right? So for me, I wanted to commentate a Hazard goal. That was like, I told him beforehand, I was like, you do what you want. If Hazard's about to score, let me get this one. Like, I want to have my voice over a Hazard goal. Hazard got the ball, bro. Abs is talking. If you listen to it back, I'm literally like, I'm like, yo, shut up, bro. And then Hazard got the ball. I just went crazy, bro. Yeah. So that was sick, man. And like, I always say, right? Yeah. Obviously now I've been blessed to like interview players that are currently playing and stuff like that. And it's cool. It's cool. It's different how I thought it would be. I think when you start meeting footballers that are your own age and stuff like that, the allure around it kind of like disappears. Yeah. Naturally, I think most people in the industry would say that. Mm-hmm. For me though, when I meet players that I used to like really look up to as a kid, like Henry now, Hazard, like Kaka, Drogba, you turn into a kid again, bro. Yeah. And then like to be able to commentate over their goals, that's like one of those ones. It's like when you were a kid, you would like dream of doing something like that. Yeah, so that was like a real like childhood moment, like kind of ticked off there. Yeah. The one thing I will say though, like the beta squad game is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Why?
Well, let me tell you this why. Yeah. First of all, great event, big up both of them. But like I said, the Match for Hope was a really good quality game. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe I just kind of thought all charity games would go in like that. Yeah. So like in that game, I felt like I was commentating a real game, and like even the way I was talking, like it didn't feel like I was like forcing anything.
Because they're professional players.
Professional players, but even like everyone was taking it really, really seriously. The beta squad game, I didn't know what to expect. And the first 30 seconds, I think Kai Cenat caught the ball. Like the ball went to him and he caught it and then he dropped it. And then he started dribbling. And I said, okay, it's this kind of time. Yeah. It was so difficult though to like go from that mentality of like Match for Hope where it's a serious game and like you feel like you're commentating a real game to like you have to adjust the way you like look at stuff because it's more for kids, it's more for fun. Yeah, these guys are just here to like have a laugh and stuff like that, which is sick. I think they raised money for that as well too. It was a sick thing, but it was so difficult for me to like adjust my way of thinking. It was a complete 180, bro.
Just a quick one on the beta squad AMP game. Did you know that pitch invasion was gonna happen? As in like from the gantry, you're probably looking down. Did you see like I could see a few of them about to start running anytime minute.
The first one ran on, and I was like, I started laughing. I started laughing when the first one ran on, and then another one ran on. I started laughing again, and then more came out. I was like, oh shit, this ain't good. Like, now the game's gonna get canceled.
Yeah, to do the PR, he's like, you don't like to see this.
I did say that.
I felt for them. That's the media chain. That's about the media chain.
I actually did feel.
I hate to see stuff like this, man.
I actually did feel for them, bro, because I know they wanted the penalty shootout to happen. They were working hard. Yeah, that was a bummer. But honestly, then obviously we did Match for Hope again this time. Similar sick experience. So for me, bro, like I said, I don't know if I'll ever do it again.
That's what I'm gonna say. Is that something that you want to carry on doing going forward, or is that something that just like, maybe if it comes around, I'll take it. If not, then
I mean, like it's a cool experience. Like if they ask me to do the next one, that's sick. If Chunks and these guys ask me to do the next beta squad, I'll be blessed to do it. But it's not really like a passion of mine. It's not a career aspiration for me. Honestly, it's more so. It's cool. I'm glad they think I'm good enough at doing it, and I think it's a cool thing to kind of like tick off. But it's not at all something like I aspire to do for my career.
Obviously, you did it with Munya and you did it with Abs. Let's say next year they had a professional commentator you could do with. Would you want to take that experience?
That would be sick. Yeah. Nothing against those two. Obviously.
No, of course, but professional commentator.
But bro, imagine like I don't know, like Martin Tyler or Peter Drury is your co-commentator and your main commentator and your
bro.
That's crazy.
That's crazy in itself.
That would be 100%. Nuts. Yeah.
But no, it's that whole event was amazing, especially that first one because obviously you and Abs on the commentary, you had Fuad and Faysal doing the sideline.
The first game was on my birthday as well too, bro. That's the best birthday I've ever had in my life,
the actual day was your birthday?
Bro, yeah. The first one, it was insane, bro. Like that's like the best birthday present I could ever have, bro. Like, it was nuts.
Of course.
None of you might wanted to give him a cake.
Or where's your cake?
Where was your cake, man?
What do you mean?
You were there. Why didn't you give me a cake?
Well,
you told me why he didn't get you a cake.
He didn't tell me.
Would the cake even make it to you?
No, let's be fair.
Would the cake even make it to you?
The cake got lost in transport.
It's not your episode, man. This is not your episode.
Say no more. This is what we're doing. Okay, cool.
You know when Flizzy makes this face? Yeah, he's gone.
No, it's calm now. Because now we're not talking about things now. Now, we're going to say, what? Liban didn't come because he was booed up. What now?
Wow.
I was booed up with what? I like you. That's why I like mess.
So anyway, stop making it.
Obviously, mentioning your career aspirations, obviously you've interviewed some big legends. You've got Wayne Rooney,
crazy.
Thierry Henry,
crazy.
Robert Lewandowski,
crazy.
Like, what was that experience for you, and how did it make you feel in terms of you've gone from obviously being this kid that had loved football, growing up in New York, and then now you're in a position where you get to basically interview all these all these players? Like,
Yeah.
what was that like for you?
I mean, I remember the year before. So at that point, like interviewing players was for me always something I wanted
Yeah.
to do. Now I've checked it off. It's not as important to me. Not even on like it's something I've done.
I
now.
get you.
And like I said, the
Yeah,
allure
yeah.
kind of goes away when it's current players. Old players, like if you offer me an interview with Zlatan or something, I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm on it.
Riyad Mahrez.
Mars is like a crazy one as well too. But like in terms of like, oh, if you want to go interview some player who plays in the Prem for this mid-table team, I'm not gonna like go crazy about it. A few years ago, at one point,
Hoyland.
you know what it is though, bro. You know what it is though. I'm not desperate to interview.
Whoa, relax, bro.
Yeah,
I like that one.
too excited, man.
That was a good one. That was a good one. I like that.
I have a rule.
Don't let this guy.
I like you.
I have a rule, anyways, though.
Come off some air now, bro.
I have a rule though. I don't interview anyone that.
Come off some air, bro.
I have a rule now though. I don't interview anyone that I've feel like I've been too harsh on. In
Okay.
terms of like from
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I feel like if I've crossed the line of
He's a
them.
liar, you know.
No, I'm not a liar.
I reckon he would take the opportunity.
No, I wouldn't, bro. You know.
You don't think he would?
Oh, fool, you don't know who I've rejected. I've rejected interviews before.
He's
Oh, is
rejected.
it?
No, he's actually mentioned.
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
I
okay,
can tell you this.
fair.
I didn't interview Jurgen Klopp. I was offered an interview with Jurgen Klopp.
He's a buddy
I felt
They want to recommend me.
huh? They wanted professionals.
They want the serious people.
I know.
No, but no. In terms
I
of
wasn't 14 writing autobiography. Oh,
no, but in terms of the Hoyland thing, I would never interview Hoyland. I would never interview Hoyland.
Oh, is it?
Because I feel like I've said too much about Hoyland for me
Yeah.
to now pretend to be buddy.
Yeah,
buddy
no,
with him.
bro,
That's-
I'm with you. If
Yeah.
I wouldn't do
Wallah, you're a liar.
Wallah, I would.
Wallah, you're a liar.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
had this conversation time
Yeah.
ago.
What kind of person
me
do I
personally,
come
I could
across?
never interview
Yeah.
somebody that I've.
No. I
spoken
hear
shit
your
about
And
Yeah.
even
your
Club, I've never even been like, I've never called Club a waste man or whatever. Like, I
Yeah.
think the year before I had said, for me, I think the Klopp era is coming to an end. I remember I said that. I
Yeah,
think the
yeah,
Klopp era
yeah,
is
yeah.
coming
Said
to
he's
an
washed.
end. Yeah, I basically said for me,
Yeah.
I think I had Arteta
You
above
could have
him
gone
and
and
the
said
current
sorry.
manager.
You could have gone and said sorry to him though, and make
No, but-
everything up.
But first, for me, I don't think I have to say sorry.
No,
because
you
it's my-
have
it's
to
my-
though,
Why do I have to?
because what
If-
you
if
said
it's my-
about him.
No, but if it's my,
You said he's dead, he's meaty,
I
he
didn't
don't
say
look
that.
good.
I didn't say that. For me, I have an opinion about him, and for me, I'm not so desperate to interview these people. I'm going to change my opinion or like
Okay,
like, limit myself. Just maybe one day I might interview him. If
Yeah.
I said it, I meant it. I'm gonna stick by it.
yeah.
Now the thing with Klopp as well too. I don't think I ever went personal with him. I don't think like you could say, oh, I was a dickhead to him or like call him names or whatever.
Yeah.
But I also knew the way it would appear. Liverpool fans would see that and be like, oh, this guy's begging it off Klopp now, which is not something I would do, but I just know the perception of that wouldn't have looked good. So for
Yeah.
me, I decided it's not worth it. And sometimes nowadays I think, was it that deep? Could I have taken that interview? He's one of the greatest managers of all time. Should I have taken it? Maybe. But at the time, I didn't think it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So Hoyland, that's not
Nah, it's
something,
just- bro,
I would never
bro,
interview
I
Rasmus Højlund.
commend that because not a
Yeah.
lot of people will have that maturity or even come to that decision to say, you know what?
But you know what it is, Liban?
I don't feel comfortable enough to.
But you know what it is? A lot of people who
interview this
interview
person.
players, like these people are chosen by Sky or whatever.
Yeah.
First of all power to them, but
Yeah.
they don't do the same thing that I do. They are presenters, they're hosts. They don't really give their opinion on stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like they're good at asking questions and like conducting an interview, but they're specifically not in roles where they have to like talk
Give their
about
opinion.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, yeah.
I'm in a different situation where my job is to analyze stuff.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm going to analyze stuff in a way that's negative and positive. Now they're asking me to interview players.
Yeah.
There's a level of like, I do have biasness and stuff like that. So I think it's a little bit different there. If you're someone that never gives your opinion on anything, you can interview anyone, bro.
Yeah, of course.
Because you've never given your opinion
But
on
that's
them
not what we
before.
do. You
That's
know,
not-
especially
that's
even
not my
on
lane.
SDS, that's not
Yeah.
what we do.
That's not my
We
lane.
have to give our
Yeah.
opinion, and sometimes we have to say it how it is. You know,
Mm-hmm.
whether the person will like it or not. Probably you have as well. Like and a lot of the man them on SDS I probably have as well, where you even get friends and families of players saying, "Yo, chill out. You're talking too crazy. You're talking too crazy."
Had
You know,
that.
and
But for
so
me, it's like I'm not doing
you
this
know,
job to make
please
friends
people.
with people.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I have no interest in like being friends with footballers.
Yeah.
Like, my interest is being the best at what I do. I want to go as far as possible
Yeah.
in this career. I want to be seen as like one of the most serious people or one of the most established people in this industry and what I
Yeah.
do. It's not to make friends with ex-pros or footballers or coaches, bro. That's
no,
the
facts.
reality.
No, 100%.
But yeah, what were you saying about interviews?
So obviously, a lot of people like dream of doing what you're doing. So some of the things that you're doing in football media now, like interviewing players, being able to achieve some of the things you've already achieved. A lot of people dream about doing it. What is like one piece of advice you would give to anyone out there or any young person or even people from America that dream of doing what you did and making the move to the UK
Yeah.
and pursuing a career in sports journalism or in football? What's one piece of advice that you'd give?
One piece of advice I would say is put yourself out there. I think in 2025, there's always this argument, right? Like, you'll know this, Faysal will know this, you might know this as well too. People will look at what we do and say, I'm different because I have the degree, right? So
Yeah.
maybe I'm an exception here. But like people will look at what Faysal does, going on Sky doing this. Where's your journalism degree? Like where you didn't go to school for this? How are you how are you able to talk about football? Why are you getting these opportunities? But look, I have a degree in sports journalism. They didn't tell me about football in any of those, bro. They tell me how to like dictate, like start interviews and like edit and stuff like that. But you're not learning the game of football by doing that. And it's also not giving you like, if you're a people person, if you're able to communicate correctly, you're not really going to learn that from university, at least the way I think. It'll teach you some valuable things, but that's not really the most important thing. And today, and especially with social media, how powerful of a vessel that is, you can put yourself out there and garner an audience and build a YouTube channel or get attention from big companies by putting your stuff out there. And if you're passionate enough and you're talented enough, your stuff will probably blow, bro. It might take a while. I'm not going to say here, the first video you drop, no matter how much work you put in, is going to go and get thousands of likes or retweets or stuff like that. You're gonna have to graft at it. You're gonna have to fail and fail and fail, and it might take you months till you get that one thing that like everyone starts seeing and like, wow, you're talented. But for me, the most important thing is being passionate about it and staying kind of like focused on what you want to do. And also, I think having a niche is really important as well too. Like, what are you passionate about, and what do you think you're really, really good at? And I'm not just saying, talking about football, but if your expertise is tactics, really kind of like nail in on like writing tactical pieces and breaking down games from that point of view. If your style is more so, you love telling stories, kind of like avenue yourself as a football storyteller and really go down that lane. So I think that's the best kind of advice I can give, because for me, that's what I did. I just stayed low. I stayed like straight focused. I stayed passionate on what I wanted to do. I didn't get distracted by anything. And look, man, it took me a long time. The first year I was in the UK, bro, I didn't make a single dime off work that I did. I went on other people's channels. I went on other people's podcasts. There was a joke at one point on SDS, like, whole lot of Lies means he basically just goes on other people's podcasts. But for me, it was like, A, I'm so passionate. I want to talk about football all the time. Yeah. But B, I want to put my stuff out there, bro. Like, that's the only way I'm going to put myself out there. Nice. I remember
he's not lying.
No, I remember
he's making a joke. He said, this guy's he's a podcast whore, bro. He's got every podcast possible.
Passed around.
It's true, bro. Remember, Sharky sent me
I was being Sharky on the cool together. You on a live stream?
Yeah, I was on a live stream. This guy sent me like 6 different podcasts I was on. But you know what it was, bro? To start with, I didn't have any connections, bro. I didn't know anybody in the space or whatever. So for me, it's like, I'm going to have to graft at this. I'm going to have to go on this guy's podcast, this guy's show, this guy's this. I'm not going to make any money off it, but if this is going to like make people know who I am, I'm going to firm it, bro. And then eventually, when I'm able to kind of like position myself and platform myself to make a living out of it, all the work that I did in the past will kind of have led to that.
And it has.
100%.
And it obviously clearly has. Yeah. But key thing you said about that is finding a niche. I think a lot of people, especially in the football community or sports content, I think they struggle with that. They struggle with finding a niche, and sometimes that niche might not even have to be necessarily like you said, you got the tacticals, then you have people that are storytellers. Sometimes also your personality.
100%,
I think your personality sometimes can out.
Look at Expressions, for example, by the way. Expressions is probably the best entertaining football content creator in the game. Yeah. Expressions, I think, would admit he's not like the most like analytical guy, bro, but he has never once in his life tried to kind of go down that route. You look at, for example, Faysal, his is based on his energy. You're based on your humor. You guys will never try and like be something you're not. Same with me, bro. I won't ever try and like be Fuizzy. That's not who I am. So I think that's massively know who you are and kind of platform yourself as that. Don't be artificial. Don't try and cover every single base. It's not worth it. Yeah.
And so what's next for Leah? So like, what's next for you? Like, what's something that you're aiming to achieve? Like, what's the next big project that you want to be able to accomplish?
You know what was funny, right? First of all, I always say every year I want to do more than I did last year. And I'm blessed to say that every year I have been able to do more. Like every year I can confidently say I did more than I did the year before. That's always my main goal. But I remember as well when I told my dad that I wanted to kind of come to the UK and like I wanted to like eventually like do this. He told me, he's like, okay, that's a nice like goal, but a goal is nothing without a plan. Like the goal is the final destination. How are you going to get to that goal? So for me, I always kind of like had a blueprint of what I wanted to do. Come to the UK, get my degree, start to build an audience, meet people who are doing similar, and kind of like platform myself as one of, if not the biggest American speaker or person from an American background in the United Kingdom when it comes to football until the 2026 World Cup. That was kind of like the not the end goal, but like that's a check mark for me or a checkpoint. I'll reanalyze everything then, and then I can see what I want to do. So for me, my main objective, my main line of vision right now is the 2026 World Cup. I want to be on TV. Like that's for me the next step I want to do. Right now, I'm blessed to I'm doing well on YouTube. SDS is booming, but I want to be on TV. I want to be on like panels talking about football. Hopefully in 2026, I'm doing that on a big network or something like that. I don't know. SDS, hopefully we're out there as well too. But that's really the next step for me. I love what I'm doing right now. I love interviewing players. I love the podcast. I love everything. But the next step for me, I want to be on TV more.
Nah, that makes sense. I don't can't lie to you. I've never heard something that makes more sense than that, bro. 2026 World Cups in his homeland,
yard,
and it's not even just look, and he can claim all of them,
Yeah.
Canada and America. They say we can have you can have both as well.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, obviously the fact, like you said, you are the biggest American speaking football content creator. I don't think I could think of anyone like it's impossible. You probably are the biggest. So tick. It only makes sense, and I genuinely believe with how hard you work, and people don't see how hard you work behind the scenes. I genuinely do believe that you will be.
My God, appreciate
on
you, brother.
TV, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
When that happens,
Continue the
we'll
graft.
be there to celebrate that win.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully you're there with me, man.
Yeah, we will be there. Inshallah, listen, 2026 World
Yeah.
Cup. We will be there, inshallah, one way or another. We will be there, and obviously we'll do a homecoming. Like I said, make sure when we land there, you're clapping.
JFK Airport.
Toronto Pearson Airport. It could be in Mexico. Just make sure you're there, ready to clap for Lyes. Lyes, thank you so much for
My boy, appreciate
jumping
you.
on today. Now, honestly,
I don't get to whoop you in some trivia or whatever.
No.
Do you want to give him a trivia?
What I did to
One
Faysal-
game. Come on. Do you have a Taiwan game?
They didn't even come prepared for this one.
They said
it ain't worth
it ain't worth it, man. They said it ain't worth it today, man. Yeah, you know,
We got to save you, man.
Yeah,
You know what I want?
Yeah.
I want to see in 2026 for Lyes.
Yeah.
I want him. You know the Aaron Pierre.
Yeah, that's Mufasa at the airport.
Yeah, I want that for Lyes. Yeah.
Lyes, Mazzini,
Yeah.
that's Mufasa. But honestly, brother, thank you so much.
Nah,
for coming.
appreciate you guys for having me, man.
You know, our brother, but we'll see you inshallah next time. Peace.